G'day guys, another No Frills demo. This time, just got this out of the case. It's a Bacchus BTB1. Which is from the Universe series, so this is cheap. I mean, damn, this is very good for the money. Holy cow, what value. Because it's got a really easy flat straight neck to play. The build, the trajectory between the bridge and the neck is very good. Yeah, plays really easily. Despite being a cheapo, that was with the tone down, tone up. Very nice, man. One thing I noticed here, shielding. Cheap pickup. With the treble up, you know, the shielding is not so good. But I mean, I guess you could overcome that by improving the shielding. The basis of the build is good, so I mean, that's the main thing. And it's something that's under $400, including shipping. You know, it's a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. There's nothing wrong with this at all. That's toned down. Yeah. I like it. I like it. It plays well. Sounds not bad. It's not great sound-wise. I mean, it's a cheap pickup. The treble. Yeah, but then again, no, it's properly earthed, and it's just like an old school pickup, of course, because it's a BTB copy. So. It's a tele-based copy, so yeah, that's all right. You know, with the earthing. Not bad at all. Yeah, I would recommend one of these in in a blink. You know, if you're looking for something that's going to be easy to play, cheap, very good for beginners, students, I think, as a solid build which is going to, it's going to take them up to the next level. Or even for somebody who wants just something cheap to take on the road, cheap and light, or something that can be used as a basis for upgrades and stuff like that, this might be a very good choice. Build quality wise, what I notice is the good points are frets. Actually, surprisingly good. I don't know what material they're using, but they're like medium-sized frets, and there are no sharp edges as you run your fingers up the side of the fretboards there. So, on some cheap builds, they're not finished properly, and they're slightly hanging over and are a bit uncomfortable. So that's a good point. Flat radius, very flat. It looks to be about 400 R radius, 400 millimeter radius. It feels really flat, and I think that's why it achieves, partially why it achieves such a low even action. So those are good points. Lightweight body, which is made of poplar. Poplar is quite cheap in China, where these are made, and quite resonant. So that's not a bad tone wood there. Yeah, the bridge is just standard sort of traditional type of jazz bridge. Functions well. The tuners are cheap, clover pegs, Grover, I think, made by Grover. They do the job fine, not a problem. So maybe the things where they're cutting costs, of course, are the quality of the finish and stuff. It's not so fine. Like the back of the neck doesn't feel quite as smooth as like a craft series or even a global series. It could do with another nth degree, from what I'm feeling, another nth degree of sanding, and that is the only thing that I think is wrong about this. The pickup, yeah, I mean, it could be better, of course, but I mean, God, I mean, it's at what, $400 base shipped, brand new. I mean, you're not going to expect, much, are you? It sounds pretty decent. Yes, tone up, and it's got some noise, but I mean, so did the original vintage ones, of course, because of the technology back then was not as advanced as it is now with noise cancelling. But it works just fine. I don't think it's particularly hot compared to some higher end circuitry, of course, but it's decent. It's decent. Pick guard looks kind of cheap. That's one thing, but then again, same thing applies. It is a cheap base. So in my opinion, what you've got here for the money is really good and very, I think it's hard to beat for the value for money. What it reminds me of kind of Squire, Fender Squire sort of quality of build, and you know, the grade of hardware and stuff. But it feels, to me, it feels better. So, and I think the fretwork might even be a bit better than some of the Squires that I've played. And this will achieve an action of 1mm without any problem. My God, it's actually very good in terms of playability. I can't really complain. I mean, I don't think anybody would complain paying $400 shipped for one of these. You can't really go wrong. The nut is acrylic, by the looks of it. Yes. It's fine. Doesn't seem to have any issues. It's evenly set. The alignment looks good. Yeah, the alignment is pretty much bang on. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I mean, what you're getting is a really decent instrument for very little money indeed. So I don't usually stock these, but what happened was a customer of mine wanted one of these. I do get them on request, the Universe series, if people want them. I don't tend to stock them because, I mean, basically for me, this side of the market is like, yeah, the margin is very low, very small. So I really only buy these in if people specifically ask me, because for me it's just not really worth it. And but the more I get these in, the more I'm kind of consistently surprised at how good they are. One thing I do like to stock is the mini basses, because, well, they're mini basses and there's a market for that, and those are kind of unique in that they are good, playable and highly portable instruments which have some sales merit. But this is good. It's good, man. Very pleasantly surprised again by the Universe series from Bacchus. So there you go, in a nutshell. A very good build for very little money. Scrimping on some, they're scrimping on some things, of course. You can't build a bass of this quality without cutting costs somewhere. So yeah, poplar body, one-piece maple neck with a maple fretboard on top, 400R radius, lightweight, original pickup and circuit, and medium frets, black dot inlays, tidy. Yeah, the inlay work isn't like, that's one thing I noticed now just looking at this close up. It's not perfect, but what you gonna expect? You're gonna expect this to be, as good as a higher end bass? Of course not. So yeah. Bacchus consistently do it. At first, when I started working with Bacchus, I used to have trouble understanding their strategy, but now it's become more and more clear over the years. They have the Universe series is their entry level, very well made for the price, and cheap. highly accessible. So they make those in China, and they're mass produced for cost effectiveness. And then they have their global series, which gives you almost the same kind of build quality, handmade build quality that you get from the high-end ranges, but made in the Philippines by hand, with locally sourced materials, so that they can keep the prices down. And those are great quality. I mean, they're superior to this by quite a lot, you know, in terms of circuit, sound, and just build the attention to detail and finishing and fretwork. So yeah, you got that range, and then you got the craft series made in Japan, and with slightly cheaper hardware than the higher end series, slightly lower grade material than the high end series, and those are excellent. You know, those are excellent. They're almost as good as instruments twice their price. You know, and then you got the high end DX or Deluxe series, and handmade series, and those are finished to the nth degree. I mean, the quality, attention to detail it far surpasses this, you know, of course. But having said that, I mean, geez, it's good. It's good, very, very good for the money, better than most in this price bracket, I have to say. So I recommend them. I might actually carry some more. I'm based Japan direct, so I don't tend to like carrying stuff that is not made in Japan, but it is a Japanese brand, Bacchus, and they have a lot of integrity. They don't exploit their workers. They do things properly, you know. So I'm pleased to be able to work with them and support them. And yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised, you know, always with what they produce from their various ranges. So there you go, the Bacchus Universe Series BTB1, you know, Telecaster bass. Thanks a lot for watching.